Welcome Primary 4, with you is Miss Noura Abdurrahman, and today we are going to start lesson number 3 on concept number 4 on unit 2. Are you ready to start? Let's go! Okay, when the force of a car increase, what will happen to the speed? Excellent. When the force increase, the speed will increase. Excellent. Okay. And when the speed increase, when the car is so fast, the kinetic energy of the car will increase. Excellent. Okay. During a collision, what's the meaning of collision? Do you remember? When two objects hit together, this is called collision. Okay. If two cars hitting together, or if there is a collision, and the kinetic energy of the core increases because the speed increase. Okay, so the damage happened will be more damage, or the damage will increase. So when the force increase, the speed will increase, the kinetic energy in the collision will increase, so it will make a more damage, or the damage will increase. Okay, now what is the relation between the mass of the object and the kinetic energy? Can the mass affect on the kinetic energy? Let's see. Okay, we have a truck and a car. The truck has a big mass. Excellent. The truck has a big mass. And when it has a big mass, it needs a big engine because it has a big mass, so it needs a big engine. Okay, and when it has a big engine, it will need more fuel. What's the meaning of fuel? Gasoline. It needs more gasoline because it has a big engine. Okay, when there is more gasoline, so more chemical energy will change into more kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy will increase. So the truck has a big mass, so it has more kinetic energy. Again, the big mass has more kinetic energy. Okay, let's see the car. The car has a small mass, and also it needs a small engine, not like the truck. So it needs a less fuel or less gasoline. And when it has a less fuel, so it has less kinetic energy than the truck. So the big mass has more kinetic energy and the small mass has less kinetic energy. Excellent. Again, when the mass increases, the kinetic energy will increase like the truck. And when the mass decreases, the kinetic energy will decrease like the car. Okay, give reason. The truck that its mass is 1 ton has half the kinetic energy than another truck its mass is 2 ton when both of them move at the same speed. What is the meaning of that? Let's think together. We have two trucks with different masses. One truck has 1 ton mass and the other truck has 2 ton mass, okay? And both of them moving at the same speed. Okay, why? The truck which has 1 ton mass has half of the kinetic energy of 2 ton mass. So 1 ton mass has less kinetic energy. Why? Why it has less kinetic energy? Because when the mass increase, the kinetic energy increase. Excellent. And when the mass decrease, the kinetic energy will decrease. Super. So the large mass vehicle will cause more damage than the small mass vehicles which are traveling in the same speed. What is the meaning of vehicle? Vehicle means anything we moving with, like a bicycle, airplane, car, truck, ship, like that. All of that called vehicle. So the large mass vehicle, like the truck, will causes more damage in the collision than the small mass vehicle. Like what? For example, we have a bicycle and a car, and both of them moving at the same speed, 50 kilometers per hour, and both of them hit a person. What will happen? What is the damage for the person in each one of them? In the bicycle, the damage with bicycle it will cause just some injuries to the person, but the person will survive. So it's just some injuries. But on the car, the life of the person may be endangered. So the car will cause more damage than the bicycle. The big mass vehicle causes more damage than the small mass vehicle. Like that. So in the bicycle, it will cause just some damage, but with car, the life will be in danger. So again, big mass vehicle causes damage more than small mass vehicles. Okay, when the speed increase, what happened to the kinetic energy? Increase, excellent, okay. How can we increase the speed and kinetic energy? How can we increase it? Number one, by increasing the mass. Excellent. When you increase the mass, the speed will increase and the kinetic energy will increase. Excellent. As we said, the kinetic energy increase by mass and also by the angle of incline. Do you remember the angle of incline? When something it's not straight, it is inclined like that. And when the angle of incline increase, the speed will increase and the kinetic energy will increase. Excellent. So again, the speed and kinetic energy increases by mass and angle of incline. Mass and angle of incline. Okay, do you know this game? It's called Newton's Cradle. Repeat after me. Newton's Cradle. Newton's Cradle. Okay, how can we play this game? At first, we will just hold a one ball, the first ball, and we will raise it up. When we raise it up, it will store which energy? Excellent, it doesn't moving, so it will store a potential energy. So when you raise the first ball up without moving, this is called, it will store a potential energy. Okay, after that we will leave the ball and the ball will start to move. So the potential energy will decrease and change into kinetic energy. Why? Because it's moving. Okay, after that, the first ball will collide with the second ball. So the energy will transfer from the first ball to the second ball. After that, the energy will move from the second ball to the third ball and to rest of all the balls. So the energy will transfer from the first ball to all the balls. Which type of energy? Kinetic energy. Excellent. Okay, and some of the kinetic energy of the first ball will change into some other forms of energy. Like what? We hear a sound. During collision, we hear a sound, right? So, some of kinetic energy will change into sound energy, which produced during the collision between the balls. Number two, it will change also into thermal energy. And why thermal energy? It's produced because the friction between the balls. There is a friction force between the balls? Yes. Do you remember the friction force? It's happened during rubbing, when the objects rubbing with each other. So the balls is collide each other and make rubbing with each other. So there is a friction force between them. And when there is a friction force, there is a thermal energy. Let's try to make a friction force with your hand. Rub your hand together. Can you feel the thermal energy? Yes. So when the objects rub together, the friction force will cause a thermal energy. Super. So the kinetic energy changes into other forms of energy because of the friction force of air and the balls. So again, sum of kinetic energy in the first ball will change into sound energy and thermal energy. Sound energy and thermal energy. And again, in the Newton's cradle, the potential energy increase into change into kinetic energy. The potential energy change into kinetic energy. And if you leave the moving balls of Newton's cradle for a long time, moving just like that, what will happen? It will keep moving forever? No, the kinetic energy will decrease until it will stop. So if you leave it, the kinetic energy will decrease and it will stop. So the, the energy conserved during the collision of Newton's cradle means that the amount of energy before collision equal the amount of energy after collision. What is the meaning of that? The amount of energy before collision, which is the potential energy before collision, equal the kinetic and thermal and sound energy after collision. So amount of energy before collision equal amount of energy after collision. In any collision in the world, not just in the Newton's cradle, in any collision, the amount of energy before collision equal the amount of energy after collision. So, can the energy destroyed? No, it cannot be destroyed. It's just changing from one form to another. With you was Ms. Noor Abdurrahman, and thank you for listening.